Hi guys, good morning. Back to the mixed practice here. I'll post all of these in just a moment, but I wanted to talk to you about number 4. I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to fly, but most commercial airliners do not fly at an altitude of 230,000 feet. It's like a stinking spaceship. So most cruising altitudes for commercial airliners are between like 33,000 to 42,000 feet. That's average, I guess. So I just picked 33,000. Just makes a little bit more sense, a little bit more real life here. And so I drew the picture, given this angle of depression is 2 degrees. Remember, angle of depression is looking out and then down. So that angle right there is not part of this right triangle. So we can use the idea of congruent alternate interior angles when we have a transversal that intersects parallel lines. So that's why I put the 2 degrees there as well. All right, and so given this opposite side and this adjacent side, that determines tan. Tan of the angle is equal to 33,000 divided by x. We cross multiply. Okay, and I did that over here on my calculator. Yes, still have not charged you, huh? I know. Oh boy. Well, anyway, I did that and I got 944,996 feet. Still seems like a crazy large number, but when you figure this out in miles, by dividing by 5,280, you get like, what is it, 189 or something like that? I'm sure you guys don't care too much, but it's 189 something miles from the one way, so let's move on to this last problem. Okay, so this is a double right triangle trig problem. Do you first see the 2 right triangles here? There's one here, the smaller one, and then there's one here, the bigger one. Remember, SOHCAHTOA, those only work for right triangles. So some of you may be looking at this little sliver of a triangle here. That's a no-go. That is not a right triangle, so we do not use that one. Instead, again, we use this one here and the big one here. Okay, so let's take a look at this big triangle first. What is this angle here? Did you say 28? Good. So I drew the big triangle. Let's put that as 28 degrees. I want to know this whole side here, so I'll put the variable y there. And the distance here is 200 feet. Okay, I want you to be thinking why I'm separating these. The goal, if you've read it already, is to find the height of the lighthouse. Okay, that's not a side of a right triangle. Remember we discussed that? It's not a right triangle. The big one's a right triangle, and then the small one right here is a right triangle. The angle here is 18 degrees, and this is still 200. Let's put a new variable in play here. Let's say that height is z. Now I'm able to use trig to find the height of the big triangle and the height of the small triangle. Can you think about how that will help me find this distance? Remember, I'm finding this, and I'm able to find this. What would I do with this hole in this part to find this part? Hopefully you guys are saying subtract, right? So we will subtract. Let's just divvy up our paper. Let's do this one first. This one's going to be opposite and adjacent. So we're going to do tan of 28 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Put this over 1, sorry, blurry. And let's cross multiply and find our value for y. So 200 times tan 28, okay? I think my calculator just died. 2, hold on for me, times tan 28. And we get 106.34. So this is 106.34 approximately. Let's go to the small one. Opposite, adjacent again. So that's tan of 18 degrees equals z over 200 over 1, right? Proportion when we're looking for a side. Cross multiply. We get z is equal to 200 times tan 18. I'm going to do that. 200 times tan 18 equals, and we get 64.98 approximately. Okay. Says, what is the height of x to the nearest tenth of a foot? So now we're going to find x, we're going to take y and subtract z from it, right? Remember, we found this is our y, we found this is our z, and to find x, we take y, subtract z. Okay, best if we just use our exact values up here. So take that one, enter, and then subtract that last answer. And we get 41.2 to the nearest tenth. So x is equal to 41.2. We'll get some more practice with those in a couple future lessons. Hopefully that helps. As always, shoot out any questions, comments, concerns to me. Okay? Take care.